Hello and welcome to In2 KCSiE 2025 with me, Claire Bellman, Deputy Head Pastoral, and Anna Jordan, Senior Deputy Head.
So every September then we do teacher training inset, and we always include an element on KCSiE, which is keeping children safe in education. We were expecting big changes this year, but actually there weren't as many changes as we were expecting. Tell us what the key changes were.
So that, like you're right, there aren't that many big changes, and the reason for that is because we're waiting for a lot of new guidance that's going to be published this year, so the big changes are now going to happen next year. So the changes were mostly changes to links, to support documentation or how to find help, but also changes in terminology. The one area, unsurprisingly perhaps, where there were lots of changes was online safety.
Of course.
Now, they very much have increased the number and the lists of risks that they feel are associated with online spaces now.
Okay. What are some of those key changes then?
So one of them, obviously, we've done a lot of work in raising the awareness of the impact of violent porn on young people in the last academic year, and that, unsurprisingly, has made the list. Also, the influence of AI in lots of ways, actually. So things like chatbots, which are offering advice to young people that isn't always necessarily the best advice they could find. Things like deep fake videos, deep fake photos. There are apps now where you can create nude images of people. And we know that young people are accessing these and perhaps not using them in a safe way, shall we say. However, one of the other big areas that has been raised by KCSiE this year is hateful content.
And what do they mean by hateful content?
I mean, anything that spreads hate, really, but they have brought in 3 new key words that we all need to be really aware of, and that's misinformation, disinformation, and conspiracy theories.
Okay, what's the difference between misinformation and disinformation?
So misinformation is when you don't really read a source properly, you don't really read the post or the meme properly, and you just post it on because you go, oh, that's funny, or that's interesting, and you just send it on and share it with other people. If it's not correct, then that is misinformation. You are sharing something that's wrong or incorrect or misleading. Disinformation is when you purposefully share that. So you are spreading those incorrect or hateful messages on purpose to spread hatred, and that's disinformation. Conspiracy theories are when people create reasons behind things that have happened with very little to no evidence, and they quickly often gain traction in the online world because it's exciting and new and different, and therefore people like to spread those amongst their friends.
All very dangerous for very young people then. Do we have any guidance about how we challenge that with young people?
So I'm going to put a post, a link to a video that I actually showed to the whole staff, which comes from Educate Against Hate, which is a national charity. And it shows ways that we can help young people find their way through all this dis information and conspiracy theory. So it uses an acronym review, and I won't go into it in great detail now. It's a 4-minute video. I would encourage you to watch it, but it encourages young people to think about things like the reputation of the source or the post that they're looking at, the evidence that's used in it. Is it accurate? Is it true? Verifying that evidence is true through further research. What's the intent behind the post? What is the author trying to do with that post? And is that a good thing? Is it calling on our emotions in order to call us to action? And then finally, the W is weigh it all up. With all of these things considered, is this still something I A, want to believe, and B, want to share? And I think this is a really nice way of encouraging our young people to be critical thinkers and really look at what's out there in the world online.
I think that'd be really useful for parents to have next to the computers as well as a reminder at home.
Great.
So
Great idea.
Do we want to look ahead for any changes that might be coming up next year?
So the big guidance that I mentioned earlier that we're waiting on really in order for the KCSiE 2026 to have these big changes is we do have the relationships and sex education guidance that's currently in draft form. That is likely to be published in final form next year. And the young people who are gender questioning guidance as well, that is going to be published later on this academic year, we believe. And so obviously things from within those two pieces of guidance will be incorporated into the next KCSiE. The other thing to bear in mind is the Terrorism Act of 2026, part of which is Martin's Law, which requires all schools to put plans in place to protect themselves from any potential threat. And that is coming into force in September 2026. So schools across the country will be preparing for that as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.